So just to give you an idea.
Jerry Rice type.
Well, who do you want him to? He's gonna be wide receiver trying to get off the line of scrimmage.
I'll email you to remind you.
And then what would you do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're you. He's got to be
Like a Todd Pinkston.
He's got to be. Well, you got to be a white guy, good hands.
Oh, Ricky Prohl?
Chris Collinsworth. No, he's not that thin. You're a Ricky Prohl. How about a Wayne Krebet? You want to be Wayne Krebet?
Wayne Krebet.
Okay. So.
Loosen up.
Yeah,
you're all stiff.
Okay, so if I go.
I'm scared.
Go like this. Just go like this. Let your arms drop. All right.
Blue 85. Blue 85.
Wait. Why are you waiting?
Wait, I'm
He's
not.
a quarterback.
Yeah.
You don't pay attention to me.
Set.
Well, look, he's offsides, ref.
Set. Tut.
Get off the line.
Play's over.
Now you have a respect for wide receivers. This is what they go
I was
through.
open, though. I was open at the end.
After about 9 seconds, you finally got open.
But that's the key. I mean, as a defensive back, you're looking right here. You're looking right there. And you just you try to jam me.
Get off the line.
Wait. Dan.
Yeah.
He needs to try to jam me.
Okay. All right, you're going to. All right.
Hit your butt, man.
Paulie and Rodney Harrison are reenacting. Paulie is the defensive back now, and Rodney's the wide receiver. Paulie's got to block him going off the. You're not going to let him get off the line of scrimmage, Paulie. Set. Hut.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, you almost touched him. Sit down, Rodney. Wow.
I had you for a second.
Was that?
I had you for a second.
See, these guys, Paulie always wants, every time we have somebody in who's football guy, it was Bettis, he wanted to tackle. He wanted Strahan to hit him, Saragusa to hit him, and then he said, do you think Rodney would pop me? And I said, well, I can ask him. Do you get people who walk up to you to say, hey, would you hit me? Would you tackle me?
You know what, Dan? The biggest thing for me is walking throughout the streets, everyone looks at me and says, you're not as big as I thought you were. And I'm like, I'm retired. I'm 40 years old. I'm not carrying 225 pounds around. I'm a golfer now. Speaking of golf, you talked about Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And you guys are crazy. Let me tell you something about being married. Are you guys married?
Yeah, they're all married.
Being a golfer, being a professional athlete, a good woman brings stability to a man. Now, you could talk about Tiger Woods not affecting Tiger Woods' golf game. It definitely would. He would become a better golfer because he would be around his kids. He has stability at home, and it's so important.
Do you think that he would be a better golfer if he was still married?
I think so. Because you get to wake up, Dan, each and every day to your kids. You have a woman that sincerely loves you despite everything that you've done. I think he'll definitely be a better golfer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still fascinated with Tiger. I don't think he's all the way back.
He's not.
No. It's all about winning majors because he's told us that. That's the bar that he set. Is he likable? Because you're around guys who were, could be a great player, but you may not like them personally. What is it about Tiger that we don't like?
I think it was a sense of arrogance with Tiger. People really wanted to get to know Tiger, and what he did, he really opened up the doors for so many golfers around the world to start golfing. He was directly responsible for me golfing. But you see a guy, and fans want you to be personable. He's not. I mean, walking up and down the fairways, there's a sense of focus and you want to be disciplined and accomplish certain goals, but the fans want you to be normal. And I think he took himself and he said, you know what, I'm not going to be like everyone else. I'm going to be different. I'm not going to interact with the fans. I'm not going to really interact with the players. And when you put yourself in a separate category and you almost put yourself on a different level, that's when people hate you. That's when players don't like you.
But, okay, how does Brady interact with teammates when you were in New England? So he's not the star and separate from everybody else. Was he able to do that where he's just one of the guys?
Oh yeah, you'll see him all the time talking to the 53rd guy, having lunch with the 42nd guy. It didn't matter. Brady was normal. You can come up to Brady, bust his chops, laugh, joke. He was the same guy all the time, and I think that's what really transcended in the locker room, and that's why guys really respected him.
Did you ever say anything about Giselle?
she's pretty, but just a little too thin for me. I like a little meat on my bones. You know what I'm saying?
But you didn't say that to Tom.
No.
Oh, no.
She's
Okay.
gorgeous,
Yeah.
you know. But my wife's thick, you know. I like my wife.
He's Rodney Harrison from Football Night in America, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Did you ever say anything at Media Day?
You know what? You have to be careful. I really didn't say anything because you have all these different people saying the same thing in different ways, and they're always trying to look and search for a story. And I'm a smart guy in terms of being savvy with the media. You're not going to get me to say something that I don't want to say.
Because it seems like people go in with an agenda, like Ray Lewis. Is he going to say something today at Media Day? Are they going to say something about the double murders? You know, is that going to come up again? Are they going to try to trip him up, get him angry to say something?
They probably will. And Ray, he's gone through this and he's handled himself great. He hasn't said anything. He's been very humble and you know, he's taken responsibility to a certain degree of what happened. And you have to look at, we don't know exactly what happened, Dan, but at the end of the day, he's redeemed himself. He's become a great player on the field. He's been great in the community. He's helped out a lot of people.
The whole Ray Lewis isn't the key for them winning on Sunday.
Not at all.
But why is he getting all? Is the media lazy that we look at the easy story that it's Ray Lewis, no matter what it is, you know, with the entire career, how he approaches the game, his speeches. Everything.
It's crazy, Dan. I look at it all the time, and they're not talking about the guys that really will impact that game. Yes, Ray Lewis will impact that game from an emotional standpoint, but what about Torrey Smith? What about Anquan Bolton, what he did in the AFC Championship? Talk about the guys, Vernon Davis, that really will make an X's and O's impact in this game. And the media, they're lazy. They want, I mean, you look at ESPN, everything's about Ray Lewis, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be really about the players, the unsung players, Kerry Williams, these guys that have played extremely well that will directly impact this game.
But if you were his teammate, are you bothered by all the attention he's getting?
I'm not. I mean, I wasn't bothered by any attention that anyone got. I thought that, you know, for me, really in the Super Bowl, leave me the hell alone. I don't want anybody to bother me. I want to be left in my own shell. Obviously, as a member of the Super Bowl team, you have your responsibilities with the media, but you know, most guys want to be left alone.
You played in 4 Super Bowls, one of the great safeties to play the game. But do you, if I said memories, are you thinking about the 2 you won or how you guys lost the 2?
You're talking about winning when you talk about Super Bowl, the first thing that comes to my mind is family. Being down here, dealing with my family and my friends. That's the first thing, Super Bowl. And that's what a lot of people, fans, don't really realize and understand, that this week is probably the most stressful week outside of football, dealing with families and friends, dealing with tickets. You're trying to decide, okay, I got 20 tickets. Who are my 20 best friends or agents and accountants and people that you're going to decide? And you're going to always have somebody upset with you. Hotel accommodations. You pay $500-600 a night for a hotel, for 6 or 7 hotel rooms, and guess what? People are still calling you, trying to hang out, bugging you. It's like, look, I didn't spend $30,000 on tickets, hotels. Leave me the heck alone and let me focus on football. And they tend to forget that.
But you, in your career, or anybody who's played, are you thinking about the ones you won or the ones you lost?
I think about, I mean, honestly, I think about when you say Super Bowl wins and losses, I think about, and maybe I'm a negative guy, but I think about the David Tyree catch. And I think about the ones that we lost. I think really long and hard about the 2007 Super Bowl. That's the thing that I always...
And you know, one of the things I love about you is you're honest. When you're on the air, people always say, you know, what's Rodney like? I said, he's just in the moment. And when you were talking about David Tyree, the catch against the Giants, and David Tyree was there, it hurt you.
No question.
Like, it had been a couple years removed. You're sitting next to this guy who had the catch of his career, the last catch of his career, and you did everything possible that a defensive back could, but it still eats away at you a little bit.
It does, Dan. It's one of those things that, you know, I can accept it to a certain degree because I tried my very best to get it out, and it's just amazing. I thought it was incomplete pass once I fell to the ground. And even then, the game wasn't over. They still had to run several plays in order to get to the end zone, but I'm just that type of guy. I feel like it's my responsibility and duty to make the play. I've always made those type of plays throughout my career.
But when you come to the ground, you go up with Tyree, you come to the ground, what are you thinking as you hit the ground?
Incomplete pass. Let's jump up and get ready for the next play.
And then at what point did you realize he caught that damn thing?
I think Steve Smith, he came and he started yapping, started cussing and yelling at me. And, of course, I yelled and cussed at him back. And I realized, like, how the heck did this guy catch this ball? Like, how?
When did you realize he had caught it with his helmet?
After the game.
So you had no idea how
I had no idea. I thought it was just, like, how did he catch this ball? And then I saw it. I'm like, how the heck did he catch this ball? Like, what did I do to deserve this? I was like, I'm a GOAT for the next 100 years.
All right, I'm going to take a break, and we'll come back. I want to ask you about President Obama's comments. You have some boys little ones who play football. You coach them. What do you think about the game, what his comments were, and the quarterback that you would like to face in this Super Bowl, Colin Kaepernick and Joe Flacco? And Joe Flacco says he wants Peyton Manning money.
Wow.
We'll get your thoughts on that. I think we just got your thoughts on that. We'll continue with Rodney Harrison from Football Night in America. That's next on The Dan Patrick Show. Rodney Harrison, kind enough to stay with us. Of course, the former safety for the Patriots and the Chargers, and now with Football Night in America. All right. President Obama comes out and talks about if he had a son, doesn't know, he would be a little hesitant to let him play football. Where are we going with all this dialogue here, Rodney?
Wait. First of all, it's easy to say that when you have two daughters. Now, if you had two kids, two boys, like I have two boys,
yeah.
Now something happens when you have boys. You just want to see them play sports. You want to see them play football, basketball, baseball. But for me, I can understand where he's going with this because I have a 6-year-old son who's very talented, great hand-eye coordination. He wants to play football. But right now, I am afraid of putting him on the football field. Now, I also have a 9-year-old son who plays football, and I've never once told him you have to play football. Matter of fact, I don't want him to play football because I know how screwed up I am in the head because of all these concussions and hits.
So why are they playing if you know?
Because I don't want my son, I don't want my 9-year-old son to ever look at me and say, Dad, you limited me in certain opportunities, or become bitter at me because that's something that he wanted to do. Now, this is the same kid that saw me at home with my knee being this big and icing and torn knee, and he saw that. And I told him, I said, son, this is what happens when you play football. This can happen.
But the way you played, can your kids play football the way you played?
No, they can't. They can't. They won't last, first of all, because everyone's bigger, everyone's faster, everyone's stronger. The second thing is, I don't think I played a certain way, Dan, and they will not allow you to play that way in this game now.
Could you play? So if you're coming into the NFL, let's say when you got to the Patriots,
right,
and the rules that they have now, restrictions, could you have played that way with the Patriots?
No, because I would be broke at this point. I'd be sitting right here as one of the Danettes.
So you'd be fine?
Huh?
You'd be fine?
Oh, yeah, no question about it. And, you know, and everyone's talking about it. You hear Bernard Pollard, he comes out and he makes his comments, and I understand where he's coming from. He's coming from a standpoint of frustration. But at the same time, you come out and say that, it's not going to change anything. The NFL will be here the next 100 years. It's not going to change in terms of popularity. It's only going to increase. What he's saying now is he's putting a target directly on his back. When the NFL hears you say this, they're watching you even closer.
Is it just a coincidence that he has knocked out all of these Patriots with Brady, Gronkowski, Welker, Stephen Ridley? Is he a dirty player?
I don't think he's a dirty player. I think he plays hard. I think he sets the tone, and he makes a huge difference. And he's the one guy, everyone talks about Ray Lewis, everyone talks about Ed Reed, but he's the one guy that's really an essential part of that defense that really doesn't get enough credit. So just don't even say anything about the fines. Just focus on football because he's really been a difference maker on that defense.
Did you think the hit on Stephen Ridley was just a good football hit?
I thought it was a great hit. I thought it was a great football hit, and I really think it changed the course of the game. And that's what you talk about. That's what you want to think of when you think about Bernard Pollard.
But why can a running back lower his head to use his helmet, but a defensive player cannot?
Well, I think a running back lowers his head to protect himself. Now, a defensive player, if I'm coming and I'm spearing you, well, my neck is in a vulnerable position. You don't want that. You always have been taught to see what you hit. So I've always tried to put my head to the side and bring my shoulder. But unfortunately, we use our helmets as a weapon.
Give me the quarterback you'd want to play against on Sunday.
Want to play against? Wow. if I was preparing, I would have to say Flacco because, he's a pocket passer. You know exactly what you're going to get. They're going to come out. They're going to spread you around. They're going to put Bolden in the slot. They're going to get Ray Rice out of the backfield. Just an easier week to try to prepare for that quarterback.
With Kaepernick and this whole read option, and I was talking to Peter King about this, that we're looking at it now. How long does it last? And you can't be a 30-year-old quarterback doing this unless you're a freak athlete. So is it just for a quarterback for the first couple of years of his career?
No, Dan, I don't think so, because if you look at Russell Westbrook, Wilson, if you look at all the quarterbacks, these young quarterbacks that have come in, even Andrew Luck, these guys are smart, they're talented, they can run, but they're also good passers. So it's not like this is the one thing that they're dependent on. Kaepernick, if Harbaugh was to change the offense, he could drop back 30-plus times and still beat you passing the ball.
Flacco says he would like to have Peyton Manning money.
It's a lot. But if you're gonna pay Peyton Manning coming off a couple neck surgeries, $20 million a year, whatever he's getting paid, then if Flacco, whether he wins or he doesn't win the Super Bowl, why wouldn't you pay him $20 million?
But do you think
my question is, where else can you go and get an elite, well, not even elite quarterback, but a really good quarterback like Joe Flacco?
Well, he's got to be a great quarterback to get that money. Is he a great quarterback?
If he wins the Super Bowl, I think most people will say, yeah, he's a great quarterback.
But do you think he is right now today?
I don't think he's a great quarterback. When if I was sleeping, if I'm a San Francisco 49er and Saturday night, I'm not having nightmares, oh my God, I got to face Joe Flacco. No, I respect the guy. I know he can make plays, but I'm staying up at night saying, hey, I got to face Peyton Manning. I got to face Aaron Rodgers. But that still doesn't take away the fact that he's been very effective in the playoffs.
Who was the quarterback that just baffled you?
It's Peyton. You talking about in a good way or bad way?
In a good way for him, bad way for you.
It's Peyton Manning, and that's the guy that I'm talking about when I think about having nightmares and really overthinking things and trying to figure out exactly how to defend this guy.
Wait, an actual nightmare with Peyton Manning?
Dude, not getting any sleep. And you could tell anytime we played against Peyton Manning, the entire week was like really, really focused. Guys really weren't joking around and just really focused, quiet throughout the locker room, and just a very humble type of week.
Guys throw up before games?
What's that?
Guys throw up before games?
I do.
You did?
Every game. Every single game. I would eat. I'm on the sideline gagging, coughing, and here's Rodney again throwing up on the sideline.
But your teammates knew you were going to do this.
Yeah, every time. You get nervous, Dan. You get nervous because you want to go out there and you want to play well. Obviously a lot of expectations, but you want to play well, whether it's the Super Bowl, whether it's regular season game against Arizona Cardinals.
Any other teammates go through that same thing?
The nastiest dude on our team was like Matt Light.
What would he do?
Just spitting all over the place and just nasty. I'm like, man, you're a nasty dude. Just them offensive linemen, they're big and they come out the bathroom and they leave like stuff, don't flush the toilet. Just nasty dudes, man. It's amazing. I love Matt, great player, but man, offensive linemen, they are nasty.
But Brady didn't yell at these guys. I mean, who's the leader in there? Who's saying, come on, we're better than this? Does Brady have his own bathroom?
I've never seen Brady even use the bathroom. I think he had like a special bathroom upstairs. I think he had a special bathroom upstairs.
Brady's stuff doesn't stink, though. I think that's what it is. He had his own bathroom.
I wouldn't know about that, Dan.
Yeah, he had his own bathroom.
No, all of our stuff stinks.
Who do you got on Sunday?
I don't know right now. I'm leaning towards San Francisco because let me just be honest. Okay, how can I root for a team that kicked my Patriots' butt?
Well,
riding. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens, they're riding this momentum. I don't know right now. Do I have to choose it now?
Well, okay, take out your Patriots. Take it out of the equation. Just as an analyst. I still don't know.
It's two teams that you can just wake up and say, okay, it's 49ers might win, the Baltimore Ravens might win. Okay. At this point in time, it's just so evenly matched. I don't know who the heck is going to win.
You know what? You're very decisive. You always have an answer, and then you took the easy way out.
You always ask tough questions. You always put me on the spot.
You were soft right there.
Sometimes
you were playing soft.
Sometimes you got to show your vulnerable side.
Would you sign Paulie's bruised elbow that you screwed up over there?
You know what? He doesn't look like much. I
agree.
He's just there, but he's kind of strong. He's a lot stronger than what you think.
Really? Wow. Well, he started with no expectation. So it's sort of like olive oil. When you see her, you go, oh, wow, she's a little bit stronger than I thought. That's you.
I look like a wuss, is what you're saying, Rod. And then I surprised you.
Well, that's what Dan told me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No, I said that about McLovin.
That's true.
Les Miles said he would use McLovin as a safety.
Yeah, your position.
Yeah.
he's too big and too stiff. Maybe a tight end.
Tight end.
Quarterback?
You just saying that because you're white.
Good to see you, Ron. Thanks for stopping
guys,
by.
thanks for having me.
He's Rodney
Appreciate it.
Harrison from Football Night in America.